Hi guys, Nilima again, and I welcome you back to my channel Exploring MS. In last video, I had shared with you guys how the course of medication changes over time, right? And in continuation to that, in this particular video, I would like to share about how, your treatment also changes over the time. Like, just for example, initially when I was diagnosed, my doctor, had suggested that I go through MRI every 3 months. Okay, and which I did also initially when I'm talking about in 2015. So I had to go through the MRI every 3 months. Okay, that was a brain MRI. And then after a couple of months passed, after a couple of years, what happened is I had to go through MRI, not just with for brain, but MRI brain and spinal cord with contrast. And I used to do that every year, and that used to happen for every 6 months. Okay, later on it happened like, that okay, every year I need to do it kind. But yes, initially it used to be for 6 months, and every MRI I used to do, it had to be with contrast, brain as well as spinal cord. And I did that for couple of years, right? And it just went on for some time. And past few years again, now since my disease has stabilized, I guess it's almost stable nowadays, right? So the last MRI with spine and contrast I remember doing was back in 2019. Yes, that was the last MRI I did, you know, brain and spinal cord with contrast. After that, I have done a lot of MRIs, but I've not done it with contrast. Okay, and past 2 years, the MRIs that I have been doing was purely brain. So I haven't been doing, spinal cord MRI. It has only been brain. Okay, and when I talk about all this, you also need to understand that monetary wise also the cost decreases, right? So when I'm talking about MRI with brain and spinal cord and contrast, you also need to understand that the cost involved with it, right? A plain brain MRI might cost you maybe 4,000 rupees INR, I'm talking about, whereas a brain MRI with spinal cord and with contrast might cost you about 14,000 rupees, right? So it's that vast a difference. So eventually, after once your disease stabilizes, the cost of treatment will also go down. Like the way initially when I used to take rituximab, I had to take you know every 6 months. Now I take every 1 year. Similarly, the cost of the MRI has also decreased from 6 months, or from spinal cord with contrast to just brain, right? And I hope to keep it this way. I really hope to keep my activities in brain in place. I mean, I just wish it was in my hand, but it is not. But I try to do whatever I can, so that it does not, activate. That's what I try to do it. And hopefully, it should remain the way. That's what I'm praying. I hope it works. Anyways, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly do go ahead and subscribe. And thank you for watching. Thank you. Bye bye.